Just letting you guys know you can listen to my No Bleeps podcast anywhere you stream podcasts or on my No Bleeps YouTube channel. Link in the description. Hey guys, it's Billy and welcome back to Spill Sesh. Today we are talking about the fact that Shane Dawson has come out and is talking about how his career is over, and we're going to get into all of that, and Ryland talking more on his podcast about the entire situation and him being in drama. Let's get on into it. So Ryland actually posted a video on his channel titled Extreme Hoarder Room Makeover, and in this video, you guys, he had a clip where him and Shane were out shopping and they fell in love with this red horse that they saw in the store. And in this clip, Shane is talking about how he knows his career is over.
Okay, here's the thing. I know that I'm weird, and I know that my career's over, and I know that I'm just that crazy guy who buys weird toys.
And this is a pretty big deal. I honestly don't know when they exactly shot this in relation to kind of everything that has been going on. I don't know if it was like way before or if it's pretty current stuff. But either way, Shane is acknowledging that he feels his career is over. And I think this is pretty interesting because especially if this is happening like right now when he has said this, if this is like within the last couple of weeks, that is a pretty big switch up than the mindset that we have been told by Trisha and certain rumors that have come out about Shane and his mindset ever since last summer when him and Jeffree were really called out together. We heard that Shane was still open to kind of coming back to YouTube. He had a plan to come back. Trisha was hyping up his return.
People want him back, and he will be back.
Can we get
love him.
Shane could come back at any time. People would love him. Thank you.
No.
Shane.
And I know that for the most part, it seemed like Shane was going to be coming back sometime this year. So with that mindset of thinking that you can be able to come back to YouTube despite everything that has come out about you, despite everything everyone has found out, everyone has seen, everyone has said, getting demonetized, all of that, the fact that he felt like he could come back doesn't make it seem like someone that would say, oh, I know my career is over. So the fact that he is saying this makes me think this was shot like after all of this drama has gone down and he might not be coming back at all anymore. I really wonder. I feel as though if he was going to come back this year, that all the stuff that recently went down with Trisha not being friends with him anymore has really hurt his plans of coming back. And I wonder if he really thinks that his career is like 100% over now because of that. To me, that's so interesting and so crazy because honestly, him coming out and kind of denouncing Jeffree Star as his friend honestly could have been like his one and only like ticket into people not being so angry with him, but obviously still angry with him, but not as angry with him. I think a lot of people do not want Shane to return, but you know, you can't stop someone from actually making videos. And I think that if he was going to come back, his one way back would have been if he was like, you know what, guys, like Jeffree Star is not the best person in my life, and I really want to take Trisha's side in this entire situation. I don't stand by any of the comments that Jeffree has ever said about her and any of that. I think that could have been his one way back where people would have been like, okay, like not as hard on him coming back as they would be if he came back now that all that stuff has happened. Obviously, he did not decide to take that route. Him and Ryland have really chosen to stand by Jeffree Star, and it's honestly hurting them more in the end than anything else. And Ryland obviously has been pretty vocal about how he's feeling about this entire situation because he is the only one that posts on a YouTube channel. He has his YouTube channel, he has the podcast that he does every single week, and I've talked about it before that when this drama with Trisha was originally going on, Ryland was very much like, oh, we never knew how Trisha fell, all this stuff. Just really such a turnoff to a lot of people who have known about Jeffree and the things that he says about Trisha. So for them to act like they've never even heard of the things that Jeffree said, or that they didn't know that Trisha didn't want them to be friends with Jeffree, that was just absolutely ridiculous. But Ryland has very much been the person to speak on him and Shane's behalf, and it has definitely hurt them just so much based on all of the things that they've said, all those comments about pretending like they didn't know and all that. But a lot of people have been saying that it's pretty funny that Ryland has a podcast called The Sip, and the podcast talks about really hot topics and celebrity and entertainment news, but when it comes to him and Shane, it's like they are not down to talk about it. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight anymore. He doesn't want to be a hot topic. So that's just pretty interesting. Now, in the recent podcast this week, Ryland kind of goes into that a lot further. The episode is titled Feeling Lost, and it's pretty clear that Ryland just doesn't like to be involved in getting talked about. He gets on the topic with his co-host Lizzie about how obsessed the internet is and about how negative the news is and how people love to hear negative and bad things about other people. And honestly, most of the things that he was mentioning, I felt like he was trying to kind of support Shane and defend Shane a little bit. Like when he was talking about how someone's past doesn't define them, it's not who they are. And Ryland says Twitter, YouTube, the news, it's all like doomsday 24/7. We're trying to be good people, but we're still honestly consumed by the bad. And Lizzie says we are addicted to negativity. Our brains are engaged in the drama and it forces us to stay tied to it and never seek a resolution. Now, to this, I will say, honestly, a lot of the time when I'm talking about people, I do really say that I would like to see a resolution. I'm not like, wow, Jeffrey is bad, period, that's it. I'm like, no, Jeffrey is being mean to someone and he should honestly try to better himself. But there are certain people that honestly really love the drama and they want to continue to be dramatic because it's their brand, it's their business. There are a lot of people that I've talked about, and there's a lot of celebrities that have been reported on that have done something bad and then fixed whatever they did and are now living a completely amazing life. Or if someone was called out for doing something, they've never done it again. That's a thing, that's a real thing. And so for Ryland to be talking about how, not everyone is their past, that's true. Not everyone is their past, but some people show repetitive behaviors. And if he's trying to defend Shane and Jeffrey, both of those people are people that have continued to show bad sides of themselves. A lot of people have been like, yeah, Jeffrey's past is really bad. A lot of the things that Jeffrey has been getting called out for in the past couple of years hasn't just been from his past getting rediscovered. It's been from things that he was currently doing in this day and age, like the James Charles situation. That wasn't in the past. That was the now situation. And talking bad about other people, a continuous thing. And Shane, people were saying that Shane was in drama. Shane was taking down James Charles. And so people were like, wait a minute. We thought Shane was like changed. He was this amazing, great person now. But, if he's not, does that mean he's like still all the things he is from his past? And the only reason why people thought that were because old videos that he had that were inappropriate, they were still on YouTube. So people were like, why is this still on the internet? If he is not his past, why is he still trying to make money off of this inappropriate content? That's what was so confusing about the situation. If he didn't have those videos currently up, it would have been really easy to say that stuff was in my past, but he was currently making money off of it. So people were very, very confused. And honestly, some people had never even seen that before, and they were just like, oh, I don't want to support anyone that's ever done anything like that. But on this podcast, I felt like Ryland was pretty much defending him and Shane mostly. And he continued on the podcast by saying that he's been reading a book on ego and how we are all so tied to that. And I think social media builds up an ego. And he says that's what fuels the mindset of, quote, I am what is in my bank account. I am my social media following. I am my accomplishments. I am my past. And in actuality, we are not those things. Well, I mean, I know that people can change, but some people, honestly, I don't know about it. Changes happen when you want them to happen. If you don't want to be a changed person, then you're not going to be a changed person. And I think that some people are their past, but that's like a choice that they're making. Jeffrey, especially. Shane is kind of a question mark because there's like 50 different sides of Shane on the internet, and I don't know which one is like the real one. But I'm gonna be honest, hiding doesn't help anyone figure it out. And it honestly hurts him more when he's hiding. Not that I'm saying, wow, Shane, come back to the internet. This is an open invitation. I'm not. But I think that running from criticism is not certainly the answer. It definitely just causes things to fester. But I mean, the things that Ryland were saying do make sense, but in terms of the people that he's talking about, I don't think they apply to everyone, specifically the people that he's been defending on his podcast as of recent. But obviously Ryland is going to support Shane no matter what. Him and Shane supporting Jeffrey is still very, very confusing to me, but but I definitely want to know what you guys think about all of this, what Rylan has to say. Shane mentioning that his career is over. Do you guys think that he means that he's not going to come back now? I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.